It's time to get on up with Jam and Renee. And here's your hosts, James Arthur M. and Renee Culver.
Good morning, everybody. You are here live with us on Backchannel, the only place on your Echo device where you can watch and listen to live shows. It's combining the word shows and chat together. We're off to a great start. Oh boy, is it Wednesday. This is Get On Up. I am your breakfast jam, James Arthur M. For the morning. We've got Renee Culver, who's going to be joining us in just a couple of minutes. Just Tugboat is giving her a little trouble this morning. So she's just walking the dog. And the dog's doing the dog business. And good morning to everybody. There she is.
Well, good morning. There she is.
Speaker into
there
existence.
she is. Good morning. Good morning. My pumpkin.
It's Renee. Renee is here to make our day.
That is what I prefer to be called. If you please, if you could, right. Bless you, bless you, bless you. I do want to share with the Get On Uppers what a good, solid friend you are. Just the kind of friend that you can text and be like, I cannot get the dog to cooperate. And you're like, no worries. I got you. I got you.
Yeah, and it was legit. No worries. I hope you know there wasn't like any. It was like, I'm sure she's not going to read between that. There's like, no worries. Or no worries.
Right.
Like, it was literally just like, no worries. All right. Cool.
Have you seen that viral post of somebody? So it's the thing of, when I say no worries, what I actually mean is a lot of worries and about 3 or 4 that I haven't even thought of. There are so many worries.
But that's not the version I was going with, but I could see how that could be there. We were just getting to know who was here. Renee,
Yes.
I don't know if you're ready for roll call.
I'm ready.
Okay, look at her. She's coming in hot and ready.
Also, Wet Hair Wednesday is something new I'm working with. I'm trying. I'm seeing if we love it.
Wet Hair Wednesday.
Just the very best. We have Aurora, we have Anna, we have Alexi, we have Remarkable Condor, we have Pomeranian, and we have Chuck.
Okay.
And
all
Stacey.
Right. Well, there we are. And Stacey just joined, #1 subscriber. There we are. And don't forget, you can subscribe too, just like Stacey, who has subscribed. You'll never miss a beat. You'll never miss a moment. You'll be right here on the action. We're here every Monday through Friday, starting at 7 a.m. Pacific time, 8 a.m. Mountain time, 9 a.m. Central time, 10 a.m. Eastern time for 2 whole hours. You can get involved in the action. It's the best thing about this show. If you've never been here before, what is so great? You're like, what makes this show better than The View? Well, can you tell Whoopi Goldberg in live time what you're thinking? Sure, you can tweet her. She's not going to read it. Meanwhile, we're going to read everything that you say, and we're going to talk to you about it.
Are.
So all you have to do is just say is the magic word, and whatever you say is going to appear on this device, and you're involved in the conversation. Look at that. You just became the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 10th co-host of the show.
Yeah. Most fun. And I will add to that, became involved in the conversation. And as the show continues, which are we on? 40, 79, 110, 1,822, 79. As we are on our
14,605
79th show, our regular subscribers who are coming in every day are genuinely our friends. So you can talk to the show, and you can also eventually become our best friends.
100%
is the thing I'll guarantee.
No, it is absolutely true. I mean, and the advice we give each other, the help we give each other, and in fact, in a moment, first question, I'm going to kick us off too. Stacey chiming in. Hello. I can't stay for too long because I have a gathering this morning. I'm Wednesdays and Fridays. You got the gatherings.
You got the gatherings. It's we should put it in the doc. Gathering Wednesday and Friday.
Warm-up question.
Please.
When you all have a sore throat, what do you do? What are your home remedies? What are your go-tos? What do you, and look at this Pomeranian chiming in. Yay, starting my day with the best host around. Hi, Jam and Renee. Take that, Hoda and Jenna Bush. Okay. Kelly Ripa, Ryan Who. Oh, good. Renee's become a mute. I love this. This is good. Oh, yeah. Nope. Can't hear a single thing, but love the way your mouth moves. I think that's weird to say. I don't think you could actually talk about anyone's mouth and it not be weird. Like, oh, cute mouth. Love the way your mouth moves. All right. Is it just, it's me, maybe? No, because she can hear me. All right. Let me know, Get on Uppers, if it's me or Renee you can't hear. Hopefully it's Renee. There it is.
Is it better? Do we hear me now? Is that a little
Mm-hmm.
bit better? So what
Yep.
I are you guys from so when you get a new laptop, which is great. But Apple won't let us use the USB ports anymore. So you have to use one of these guys. And I got a new one, but then I don't know if you were seeing like my ring light kept dropping. So I was
Uh-huh.
curious if it was the dongle. So it just switches out the dongle. Hopefully the light stays on, the mic stays on.
Okay.
We'll get it
You
all worked out.
gotta get the
God
right
bless.
dongle. All right. What are your home remedies asking for a friend, aka your friend James? When you get a sore throat, what do you do?
Good.
I think I've had it for a few days. I just assumed it was from like having party girl voice, like Tara Reid
Right.
party girl voice for the last few
But
days.
it's still
No,
there?
it's legit sore throat. I was on Live Show and
Yep.
someone told me that I had COVID. I was like, no, there. She was like,
I mean,
sore throat was my first symptom. I was like, get out of here.
also, first off, I am so sorry. I'm so sorry that you're not feeling well. I want to send you all of the remedies. I do think that is a possibility, the live person, but also you're vaxxed, you're boosted, you're gonna be fine. Do we have any other symptoms?
No, unless it was sore
Okay.
throat.
Okay. All right. Well, I would say I love a throat coat tea. I love a Theraflu. And I weirdly something that you don't think it was just like Advil. That's it. We just gotta knock out the pain. I'm so sorry. Are you?
I
Is
made the
it?
mistake of taking some cold medicine at like midnight last night, and
Oof.
then I had
Yeah.
a sore throat. So I woke up and I just you need a full 8 hours
Yeah.
if you're taking cold medicine.
You
You
sure do.
gotta,
You sure do.
yeah.
So just feeling a little groggy this morning. Okay. All right. Can we get you first off, of course you're here. Of course you are. The show must go on. You are a consummate professional. That said, can I get you out of your day job? Can we give you a little you want me to write you a note? Please
It's
excuse
just a
Jam is
sore throat. It's just a sore throat.
okay.
Pomeranian
Well,
chiming in, sore throats, anything warm and soothing, tea and honey. How about
yes.
mushroom coffee? Four sigmatic mushroom
Okay.
coffee. Well,
All
that
right.
hot.
I think
And
honey is the direction we'd
this is
like to
what
go. But
a
yes.
stupor I was in, getting ready to do the handoff. Oh, Tim,
Tell me
ice cream.
more.
I like Tim's idea. Bye, everybody. Gotta get some
Mm-hmm.
ice cream.
Mm-hmm. Tim is
Great
100%
idea,
correct.
Tim.
Yes, that
Ice
is
cream.
the
I
actual
need
answer.
ice cream for my sore throat.
Yes. Yes.
I poured. So I have a little like electric tea kettle. I have a little electric tea
Okay.
kettle. Put it on, and I was like, "Oh, I gotta get ready and do the show." And I was like, "I have just enough time to pour my coffee, make it onto the Live handoff, and then I
Right.
grab the Brita water filter instead and pour Brita water into my coffee. And I didn't pour hot water. I poured
Just
temperature
do
water.
regular lukewarm water. Okay. Okay. I'm so sorry. So does that ruin the coffee, or can you add hot water in a way that you're just like, and then it was just a little bit cooler than it usually is?
No. It's I had to put it back. I had to put it in the microwave because now this
Okay,
was
sure.
like, cold. Pomeranian said my dad swears gargling with Listerine will help. I did do
I believe
gargling with
it.
salt this morning. I did do that.
Okay.
That did
Yeah.
help. It did help a little bit.
It
But,
does. It does a bit. Gosh, I'm just so sorry. And then let's see, Raymond, you
The
have
Circle.
to watch The
The
Circle.
Circle. Yes, The Circle on Netflix, because
Ooh.
this time
Okay.
it's got Scary Spice and Baby
No.
Spice on it. No.
Okay. Okay. You said scary, and I immediately said no. I guess even if it's your name, I won't be part of it. Nope. Absolutely not.
Okay, well, we know
Nope.
who Renee's
Nope.
least favorite Spice Girl is.
Absolutely not.
Here
No, it's
comes
just 'cause it's
Scary
scary.
Spice. No,
I will not tolerate
doing
scary
it.
in any way, shape, or form,
No.
including
How
but
about
not limited
this?
to your name. Yes.
It's featuring Mel B and Emma Bunton of the
Okay.
Spice Girls.
Okay. I do not know thank you. First off, that was kind and that was nice. You're like, we're gonna call him something else. How about that? I don't know the premise of The Circle. Do you want to enlighten Nana real quick? What the whole concept is of The Circle?
I will say Renee usually has her finger on the pulse of all things
Thank
pop
you.
culture, to the point
I
where like
do.
Renee's like, "What's everybody watching? I'll
Right.
jump in." Season 8, I'm there.
Oh, you know I love a bandwagon. You know it's my whole personality.
But
Is
maybe
I will.
to Raymond's point, The Circle just hasn't been zeitgeisty enough because it has not permeated Renee's bubble of cool.
True. I am familiar. I think the bubble has been permeated, but I don't love a reality TV. I can't get through Love is Blind. Is that the other one?
You're on the right network, so it's right there. They're sister cousins. The circle, everybody goes into like their own, it's like essentially a reality TV show
hmm
based on Facebook. And so some people, it's like 8 people all living like in a separate rooms in the apartment.
Okay.
And you decide if you're going to play as yourself or if you're going to play as a
Okay.
catfish. And the whole entire idea is you're going to win like, I think like $50,000 at
Oh.
the end, $10,000 at the end.
Okay.
You get to know people, you play games and activities, you vote people out, but you don't really know if someone was a catfish. They throw in like all kinds of different things in it. I thought I
Yeah, I
was
need
not
that.
gonna like
Okay.
it at first. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, this is like terrible. Social media is garbage. But at least
Right.
in the first season, all the catfishes and people who are not genuine and kind were like
Right.
voted out.
Mhm.
You kind of do like usually the mean and nasty people don't necessarily make it to the end. At least season 1 and 2 that I saw.
Okay. I mean, and if that is the lesson we're teaching, I can work with that. That sounds good.
And we've got Scary Spice this time. Sorry. I
It's true.
mean,
And no, I
Melanie
was able to handle
B.
it. Yeah,
Okay.
thank you. I've evolved. I've changed my tune on such a thing, but I appreciate you being so accommodating and just like, well, let's see what we can call her so that you will
Yeah.
chat in. Raymond, this is a good recommendation. I will make a note to give it at least a one episode shot.
Yeah, and I would
Seems
say
fair.
just jump into season 3. I think jump into
You
season
don't
3.
need the
Do the
premise.
Spice Girls.
Okay.
Do the Spice Girls.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Great.
it's not like it's not like you're gonna be confused. Oh, I didn't see
Mhm.
season 2. It's it's just
It's the same premise
it's an
every time.
It's the same premise every time, exactly.
Okay. Got it.
My friend Michelle Buteau is the host of that, who I have been over to her
Oh,
house
that
for
you'd
meatball
lead with
parties.
that. I love Michelle. Yeah,
Yeah,
all right,
she's
I'm
very
in.
great.
Great. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yep,
I'm
yep,
so
yep.
sorry. Okay. And but if Bateau's involved, we're in.
Yeah, she's great. Yeah.
The funniest.
All right, here's what we're doing for today's show. We're gonna get over to the jam of the day. We're gonna play some celebrity birthday quiz. It's also Asian Pacific American Heritage Month, so we're gonna talk all about that. We're gonna look at the news called "Well, Take a Look at This." We're always I think Wednesday's always changing. Well, take a look at this news.
Where did we leave it? What was the most recent
Well,
iteration?
what do you think of
What do you
this?
think of this?
Yeah,
Okay,
but I think
we'll take a look at
this is
this.
Sarah, producer Sarah, is like, I think this is going to call. Well, take a look at this
Yeah.
because Sarah was the only one to attend the production meeting, so she's calling the shots this week.
Yeah, and she should. Thank you. And it's going great. It's going swimmingly. Who are we to change one syllable of this plan?
When you don't show up to production meetings, this is
Yep.
you don't get any say. While and then we're gonna play While in or Work in It, and then what are you watching / Wednesday Wisdom? I do have a Wednesday Wisdom for y'all.
Oh, I love that. Okay.
Sarah, let us know. You can call it whatever you want. Like
I love it. I love it. Whenever you want, you guys. And you're welcome for doing the entire show. Sarah's truly the best. Grateful.
Stacey said yesterday afternoon I had to help me stay awake because I couldn't stay awake long enough to listen. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Hal needed help to stay awake by using the rooster sound because I couldn't stay awake yesterday. Okay.
That's hilarious. Hal, that is such a funny solution to that. Stacey, did you tell Hal, hey, I'm dozing off here. I'm gonna need a little help. And then Hal was just like, hold on, just a minute. I got you. I will make this rooster sound. That's how I hope it went down. That's my dream. That's how I hope we got to that place.
All right. Well, it is time for the morning jam of the day. Renee, as you tell us what your morning jam is, I'm going to close the blinds behind me because I'm going to be horribly backlit.
Okay, you know what? Maybe I'll open the blinds when it's my turn. Oh goodness gracious almighty. I am a Nana. We know that. We know. But Nana gets herself on TikTok for the sole purpose of the amount of talent that is on that app. My God. And a trend that is happening is my young Gen Zers are getting a hold of old songs and covering them in a way that you're like, oh, you should have been the only one to sing this. And this is going to be very controversial. So Careless Whisper is in my head because a TikToker covered it. And I think, wasn't that Michael, somebody very famous did that initially. And I was like, well,
Careless Whisper? I think that was George Michael,
who I love. I absolutely love. And it goes against everything I believe in to be like, George Michael, I'm so sorry, but you must hand it off to her name is Christina. But I think Christina's got it. Christina wins. So Careless Whisper. And the reason that I love it so much is I don't know, man. There's been a nice evolution where I definitely went through a phase in my life where anybody who was talented, anything that sparkled, I was like, I want it. Me, I want to do it. And something that has been nice in my old age is you just appreciate. You're like, look at you. Okay. So I have a look at you. Okay. For Christina on TikTok, who covered Careless Whisper. It's been in my head all day. I love it so much. And that is my jam for the morning.
I'm into that. Okay. Renee, I told you. Yeah. This one has her finger on the pulse. I don't even own it. I don't own a TikTok. Renee's on the TikTok. She's like, she was telling us about that one lady from the Sex Lives of College Girls who's releasing her album and like tidbits.
Get ready.
And thanks for Renee saying that when I was in the green room with my other hosts for the Dr. Strange Red Carpet. I was like,
yes.
Oh, well, you know who's slowly releasing their song. This is how the kids are doing it. I totally took your theory and just used it in the green room. So please know, I take all the things. I'm like, oh, did you know what, Little Debbie?
How about
Let me talk about gosh.
Did you know about this? Yeah. Listen, icebreakers for days over here. Can she go any further? Absolutely not. What happens after the ice is broken? No. Let's get her out of the party immediately. But if you need that ice to be broken, she's going to come in with hot tops.
Oh my God, Renee. It's so good. Get on uppers. We're curious what your morning jam of the day is. Do you have a morning jam? What is the jam? What's your morning jam? What's your jam of the week? Is there a song that's been stuck in your head? Is there a song that has been just defining your week or your time? Pomeranian said, my jam this morning, oldie but a goodie. I'd rather go blind. Do I
know that song? I'm Googling it immediately.
I'm so sorry. I'd rather go blind. Adding it to my playlist immediately. Oh, Etta James. Yes, definitely an oldie but a goodie for sure. Let's see.
Break song.
Yes. I will say mine is I think in that scene, like I think the new I think is going to be one of those ones a few years from now they'll be like, oh, that's a classic. So I have Lizzo's new song just in my head and repeat. I'm sure Renee, your TikTok must be flooded with dances to this song.
Yeah,
everyone's doing this dance.
The little booty shake.
Yes.
Do this. Yeah.
Where? Okay, please explain to me. 'Cause I don't understand TikTok. I then ran to go watch because TikTok is everywhere. My Instagram feed is now filled with like, do you want to watch this random TikTok video? It's like, no. If I want to go on TikTok, I will say I'm not following this person. I don't know them. And they're just like, you want to do this video? And I'm like, no. But I started seeing this Lizzo dance and I'm like, okay, let me watch this thing. And now my Instagram's filled with people doing this dance. Yeah. And I ran to the Lizzo live performance on SNL to see like, this must be the choreography for the video. It's not. It's not that she doesn't do any of this choreography. How does this happen? Did someone start it and
she did it on
craze?
Her Instagram?
Oh, her Instagram.
Sorry. And then everybody's like,
it's
okay,
cute
I got
choreo. It's actually better than what's in the music video. Or the live performance. I'm like, you should have used that. You should have used that.
It's true.
Let's see. Tim has Last of the Famous International Playboys by Morrissey. It's not silly at all, Tim. That's not silly.
It's absolutely not silly. Nothing you do is silly, Tim.
Classic. That's a classic one. And sounds like a great way to like have your Wednesday right here. Ooh, Raymond. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna watch you try. To hurt you. Never gonna hit you up. I can sing that because it's very much in my share register, so I can link to share.
And you sound,
sort of,
absolutely beautiful. Can any of us think of that song without thinking of Ted Lasso at this point? It's so,
I did.
And I think I use that as my song like early on in because my song of the day is whatever's stuck in my head. That's how that goes. So I think I just watched Ted Lasso, and so I had Never Gonna Give You Up. Never Gonna.
Pomeranian also has the song I can't get out of Erykah Badu's Rim Shot. Pomeranian cannot get out of their head. That's a good one. Rim Shot. Erykah Badu is great. Let's see. Stacey, Hal has the station identification break song. Ooh, you like that one. Hal got some good jams on over there.
Truly.
So mine is Lizzo's
let's hear it.
About Damn Time.
Uh-huh.
And it's specifically the chorus.
Right.
It's like, oh, I've been so down and under pressure. I'm way too fine to feel this stressed. Yeah, I'm way too fine to
Yeah.
feel this stressed. Yeah, I'm like, I love that. You're like, wait, I'm cute. Why am I
Yeah.
stressed? Like everyone
Thank you.
should just, I'm not the girl I used to be.
Yeah.
I might be better. Turn up
Yeah.
the music. Turn down the lights. I got a feeling I'm gonna be all right. Okay. All right. It's
Okay.
about that time. Yeah. I think, turn up the music. Let's
Yeah.
celebrate. I got a feeling it's gonna be okay. Because, you get on have been very open and honest. 2 weeks ago was very rough for me. I was in a rough spot. And
Yeah.
I was feeling, and I think though, when you're used to operating in a space of stress, that's what your body
Sure.
knows. And so I
Right.
have to break that habit and that behavior and that mind of I'm constantly going a million miles and constantly stressed. I'm purposely making a conscious decision to not take on any extra projects, even if it's around the
Yes.
house or things that I want to do. I'm doing less this week purposely, so I'm not stressed.
Good
And
job.
then also I just like this line of I'm too fine to feel the stress. And I feel
Yeah.
like everyone should feel that way. Lizzo has such great, powerful music. Everyone should, if you're feeling stressed, you should just say to yourself, I'm way too fine to be this stressed. I'm too fine. I'm too fine. I'm too fine.
Words to live by. One, I am so sorry that you were stressed 2 weeks ago, but I'm so grateful that Lizzo's song is now out to bring you comfort, and you are way too fine to feel stressed. All
Also, I
of our
feel
Get Our Uppers are way too fine to feel stressed.
Renee and I have to learn this dance and do it for you all.
Yes.
We could be TikTok stars.
We absolutely could.
Ah.
I think I also like that. Maybe not. Maybe this is just the phrase of if anybody were to be like, "Hey, give me the 2 signature moves of this dance." Maybe it's common, but maybe not. Maybe just you and I are like, "No, it's this, and then it's this."
Yeah, it's Balenciaga line. So,
my favorite move that is so common in TikTok is the one little hip up. Oh, it's so cute. Anytime, so you turn your little back to the audience and you give one little hip.
just one little
favorite.
help. Man, I feel like I think if I was in my late 20s, I would have gravitated towards TikTok and been so I was choreographing. I was choreographing for Bay Area Flash Mob back then. I was doing a lot of dance, and I had the energy and bandwidth to pick up a new social media account. I don't think I didn't join Instagram until 2018.
Yeah.
A little late.
It is, social media is great, but it is also incredibly addictive. I will say there are beautiful things on TikTok. There are therapists giving advice. I think that's tricky is it isn't for the kiddos. There are so many people in their 60s, 70s, 80s giving incredible advice. And really, if you curate it properly, TikTok is a wonderful place to be. It's difficult to curate it properly, but
I just don't want China spying on me. Anyways, on to that. That was my biggest thing why I was I'm not getting on it. It's no, it's done by the Chinese government.
That doesn't seem right.
Not doing
I do think once you have a phone, you're getting spied on constantly. Doesn't matter what you're on.
True.
But
I think I just want to
limit
my spying on,
the amount of opportunity that they have.
I'm just okay, this one less spy is good for me. But you're totally right. You're totally right. Let's see. And then Stacey said that I'm about as silly as Aunt Tracy is. So I take that as a compliment.
Oh, excuse me. That's fine. I do think going through life silly, going through life playful is wonderful. It's exactly what we want.
100%.
And Stacey's bringing up a good point. I do think we can expand our what is your song of the day to any type of thing that you're listening to. Is
Audio
it an audible book?
sort.
Is it a podcast? You let us know. We'll take it.
What are you wearing? No, I was trying to get a ear. What are you wearing in your ears?
Oh, sure. What's your auditory preference of the day?
Yes, that works. All right. Okay. All right. We are kicking it off. It's time for oh wait. Tim says, I imagine a China spying on TikTok. They're just thinking, what? I think that's true.
They certainly must be. They certainly must be. Or there's this, and then all of them do the exact same dance.
Same dance. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Happy birthday, celebrities. Happy birthday, celebrities. Happy birthday. Happy Happy
Big finish.
birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday. Happy
Big finish. All right.
birthday.
An encore, if
Happy
you please.
birthday, celebrities. Sometimes I just feel like the song has no end. It says no
I
song.
would want that for the celebrities, and I think they'd want it. They don't want to be issue decide. Keep singing, they'd say.
Raymond says you guys should get the actual song and play it a little bit. I think you were right. I don't know if we have the copyrights to it, but I think we could play like 15 seconds of it. It would give me a chance to get a little sip of coffee without being like, Renee, talk for a moment.
All right, I'll be talking. Hold on, she's talking for a little bit. She's all right. Hold on, just a beat, just a minute. She's gonna find it. One moment, please. One moment. Spotify is being brought up. Here we go. Just a second. All right, here she goes.
Yep. Oh, I think.
Okay.
Wait. Okay. Wait.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I think Raymond actually meant Stevie Wonder's "Happy Birthday," but we love that too. All that anticipated is like, she's playing the wrong song. Okay. No, I think Raymond meant "Happy Birthday" by Stevie Wonder.
Okay. Let me pull that one up. Is that it?
Wait, that's not it. No.
Oh, that's not it. Okay, hold on. All right, let me see if I can find it. Just hold on.
Okay.
Is it this one?
No,
it's not that one.
No, it's the same song. I think you're just free, but you did great. Okay. We love it. The sound came in really well. That sound.
Hey, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Renee,
yes, she's focused.
Pomeranian asked. Pomeranian asked. Sorry, just looked at somebody who just left. That Alexa. Sometimes she does not translate well. Nice Horse just said, "Can you play Already Dead?" Is that a threat? Right. Someone just come out of the show threatening us this morning.
Yeah.
Oh,
who's threatening such thing?
To play
I did find it. I'm going to stop now because if the situation were reversed and my co-host was just on their phone playing Spotify, I would be like, I am going to call the company and I am going to demand you get fired. And then I'm going to call in a restraining order. And that is how I will be handling this. And that is the extreme with which I would take such a thing. So it is so interesting to me that when the tails are reversed, I'm just like, you'll just put up with it. Absolutely not. I apologize to you. And they get on that person.
And look at this. Raymond said, you should just get ready for this next time with the most sound advice of like, we were in Happy Birthdays and then we just got derailed. No, okay.
Just pulling us back to Lizzo. Yes, happy birthday. I'm ready. Okay. You know what I'll do is I'll take a moment to open my blinds and then I'll reset and I will come back a consummate professional.
Okay. Well, all right, everybody, we're about to play celebrity birthdays. We are here. Everyone rejoice. It is celebrity birthday time. The way it works is we're going to quiz you on some celebrities who were born today. We're caught up. We are all caught up on the celebrity birthdays for today. So we're going to quiz you on some of the celebrities who are born today. You will guess what you think the answer is. All you have to do is just go say, the answer is Lizzo. And then we'll be like, okay, great. No, we were looking for who won the Academy Award in 1947. Not Lizzo. So that is the way it works. We're gonna jump on into this, and we're someone who I missed yesterday because I skipped right into Salvador Dali because I got anxious.
Okay. Yeah,
I love the Salvador Dali.
I would have gotten anxious too.
It is Lenny Venito's birthday. They are turning 53. Good old Lenny Vito, America's sweetheart. Everybody knows Lenny Venito. Let's see. We're gonna put a picture. There we go. Good old Lenny Venito. 53. Was in this. Let's see. I'll give you the hint. Sarah, I think you've got a big hint. Was in this famously bad Ben Affleck movie. Famously bad.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Get on uppers. Could we do it? Is it Batman? Is that the which famously bad Batman or Ben Affleck movie do we want to choose from?
Sadly, Ben Affleck never got a solo Batman film. He wasn't Superman vs. Batman, which was bad. So,
okay.
Do you think it's that one?
Okay, gotcha. Okay. Wait, so that wasn't a solo Batman film? That was a
No,
combo platter?
it was a
Okay.
yes, Rick.
Okay. So when you're looking at the lineage of Batman, that one doesn't count.
It doesn't really.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
it does. It does because he
Okay.
he is a Batman, but he never got a Batman solo film. He got
You got a
Batman versus
Superman versus
Superman.
Batman. Okay.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
the
Okay.
Justice League movies.
Yeah, more than fair.
It was a
All right.
combo.
Ooh. Okay. Tim coming in always with the right answer, and I bet this is right. Was it Geely? Is that
Yes, I could have given you an even
yeah,
bigger hint and
Tim?
said his fiance is in it. Or
Oh,
they're
yeah,
engaged,
sure.
right? Are they
Yeah.
engaged? They're
Yeah.
engaged now. Yeah.
They are.
Pick it up where they left off.
Sure.
Picking up where they left off.
I
I'm
weirdly,
curious. Can I just ask a question? Can we do
please.
an impromptu question to the Get On
Yes, I'd
Uppers?
love that.
Would you ever like? Would you get? How do we feel about getting back together with exes? Can we
Yeah.
take the photos down for a moment, Sarah?
Please.
Let's just
Yeah,
bring the
let's
lights up.
chat.
Let's
Let's
just bring the
discuss.
lights up.
Let's have a fireside chat.
How-
What do you say?
So yeah, I'm curious. So Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez, they were
Right.
engaged, never
Mhm.
got married. They do have a music video together. He is in I'm Still
Sure.
Jenny from the Block.
On a boat.
Jenny from the Block.
Mhm.
And now then she just got like wasn't she about to get engaged again? This sounds very much like the movie Marry Me. She was gonna get engaged.
Marry me.
Wasn't
Marry me.
I don't even think she was married to that guy yet. The baseball player.
That was a great question. Okay.
They were just
Okay.
engaged. They called it off.
Called it off.
And now
Yeah.
she's like back with Ben.
Yeah.
And now they're getting engaged. How do we feel? How do we feel
Yeah.
about this? Or like getting back together with an ex? Like it didn't work out.
Right.
Now
You
you're
got to tell
going-
us. You got to tell us. Yeah, Get On Uppers. I would love for you to weigh in. I want to hear exactly what you think. Blake, hi. So happy to have you. Blake, we're talking about Ben Affleck and J-Lo. Are we happy they got back together? And in general, in the world, do we love a reboot of a relationship? Tim, I think it depends on how the first breakup went. That was really solid. And they both are saying like it was outside elements that broke us up. It wasn't inside. It was outside. So now
it wasn't an inside job.
Hollywood.
It was
Exactly. I heard a statistic once that, and this isn't true because of dating apps, and I don't know why the statistic was so digging in their heels on such a thing, but they were saying that you most likely will end up with someone you already know. In your something is going to come up in which you already know them.
Well,
which
now
isn't true.
really
I can point to so many people who found like, and I guess this was in your later, like I think
in your later,
after
yeah,
40,
like 30.
Yeah,
I
but
think
I can
that
point
this
to so many people that isn't true.
Right. Well, this now I'm side-eye. I'm upset with that psychic that I saw in Hawaii because they were like, "Oh, the person that you're gonna be with is you've already met them," and I'm like, "Oh, they're just saying statistic advice."
Sure.
They just said like they were just like that's all that they're doing. That psychic was just doing statistics. Don't love that.
Oh boy, I love this.
I was just gonna say, Tim said in response to the questioning, Tim said, I think it depends on how the first breakup went. And then Pomeranian's kind of on the same page. It depends. Why did you break up? Can you work through the issues you broke up over? I'm just trying to think. There was one ex where I did think that maybe we were ready to get back together, but the timing, but then I started dating someone else and then he got married and just the timing was never right.
Right.
But I'm always usually like, you broke up for a reason. But I guess it's like, I guess I could see the comfortableness of it, of like if you both have healed through your things and to be able to come back together.
And it makes perfect sense. Pomeranian is saying if it was a trust or disrespect issue, until the person understands and is genuinely sorry, you cannot do it. Pomeranian also says for how they hurt you, it's not going to work. So correct. Tim also saying that's not a psychic, that's an accountant. Oh, Tim. Yes. And what my origin story of the psychic and what I hope is much like Back to the Future 2, you get a hold of because that was an almanac of winnings that they got a hold of, and so you can go back. But what I hope is that the psychic got a hold of a book of statistics and was like, how can I monetize this?
I know.
Should I being psychic and being like, odds are, but I'll
That's
take
that.
out the odds are, and I'll just say, I foresee. I hope
I
that's my
actually
dream.
think that's actually kind of a brilliant concept and idea.
Yeah.
Just really study up on statistics and then just be like, I'm a psychic. And then you have such a good chance of like being correct and right about
What
things.
a gift. Oh, I love it. I love it. No, she's
Oh.
touched. She's touched. She's she's got the gift.
She's like, hold on.
Interesting. There's also a good chance.
Statistically, I
Yeah.
mean, I think that yeah, you'll get 50% chance. I mean, you'll get divorced.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I love it. Okay. Well, okay, back to Ben Affleck and J-Lo. So in
Yes.
that element of it, I think there is, and the reason that I would maybe assume that this is such a popular thing is that by the time you get to that age, you've been burned a lot, and so it is more challenging to trust someone brand new because you're just like,
Yeah.
I don't know, and I think there is more certainty or security in dating someone you previously know because you're just like, yeah, I've had eyes on you for a while. I know.
Well, it's
I know
also
what you've
like
been up
I
to.
feel like it's a plot point I've seen in many a TV show where it's like
Yeah.
their divorced parents get back together.
Right.
So, you know, people
Yep.
don't write about things if they're not happening. And there it
That's
is.
it's 100% true. I think I would say 50% of the time you end up dating somebody you already know.
And then there's a strong chance you'll get
Yeah.
back together with them. All right, next question. We're back to birthdays. Thank you, Sarah, for allowing that tangent to happen. Bringing down the house lights for our fireside
bring it
chat.
back to, okay, all right, fair. I'll
J-Lo.
blew out the fire. We're ready to go back, and the candles.
Okay. There's a lot of fire and candles. Very romantic.
It is.
Lana Condor. It is Lana Condor. Lana.
Okay.
Lana Condor is turning 24. Ooh, Tim. Tim said it's like the Vanessa Williams song, Save the Best for Last. I love that song.
I also love that song.
It's on my nighttime playlist. It's like one of the
Mhm.
perfect songs to like put you down to bed.
Sometimes
I love me
I do
Vanessa
too. I
Williams.
genuinely think she has a great voice. I genuinely think it's a great song. But again, I'm all about the origin stories today. I hope that it was an accident that it started like it was going to be a pop song, but they accidentally put it on half speed, and so and they're like, keep it.
They were like,
it.
give this woman some ballads.
this a
Like, she
ballad.
was like Colors of the Wind. We sang that all the time in my 6th grade choir
course.
class. They're like, time to sing Colors of the Wind. I didn't know the words because I never went to choir practice. And so I just would mouth watermelon. And my parents were like, you didn't know any of the words.
I sure did not. But did I show showmanship? Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
I used to do, this is back before I had like a strong work ethic. I used to sign up for all the activities, never show up, and just be a part of like the show. My parents were like, you don't know anything. You're just showing up.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like Little Jam had figured it out. I'm just like, no. I'll be here for the fun part. And then you guys do the work.
I was in like the band and had not practiced my clarinet. Oh man. I'm pretty sure it was like 18th chair too. So fast.
Yeah.
I couldn't be bothered to practice.
To
I was like, I'll figure it out day up. I played the recorder. How hard could this be? And then one time I like had like a clarinet solo sitting next to like a I guess it wasn't a solo, it was like a duet. Poor guy next to me. Oh man. Yeah. They just kind of
I did that once for a dance class, and we had a dance recital, and at that point they didn't choreograph it because who cares? So they didn't choreograph it based off who's your best in front. They'd choreograph who's the shortest, and that was me. So I was in front, but I only knew 3/4 of the dance, and I was supposed to stay in front the entire time. But there is video evidence of, so I'm working it and I'm doing it, and then the time where I don't know, I just sort of, where he's like, okay. and then you just see me like about 4 counts behind all the moves for the rest of the movie. So they
that's what you're just saying in dance class.
Yeah,
At
the
this point,
worst.
you're taking a dance class live
Yeah.
in front of everybody.
Yeah, in front of everyone.
Oh my
Mortifying.
gosh. All right. Well, thank you, Tim, for that detour. That's Tim's fault. If Sarah's like, how come Tim brought
Right.
Vanessa
No,
Williams? Off we
poor
win.
Tim. No, thank you. Tim is right. Tim is right to bring up such a thing.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Lana Condor. This is distracting because y'all don't know who she is. 24. Starred in this famous Netflix series. Oh, yes. Okay. I do know her. The series getting all the rage. Siri, get out of
All the rage.
here. No.
Oh,
What did I
no.
say that
Oh,
sounded
you
like
said
Siri?
series. I think you said series. Yeah.
Oh, fair.
So she was like, I would love to chime in. Who is this? What's her name?
This is Lana Condor turning
Okay.
24. Started in this famous Netflix series.
All the rage. Okay, let's go through famous Netflix series. Is it Emily in Paris?
No.
Is it The Circle? Is
No.
it Love
I
is
wonder,
Blind?
is this I wonder if it's a movie.
Okay. Well, we can
on
also
Netflix.
I got Tim on my side, so the answer's coming. Okay, Raymond, yes. Okay, I think Raymond's got the right answer. To All the Boys? Is that correct?
To all the boys I've loved before. That is correct. Ding, ding, ding,
Thank
ding,
you,
ding.
Raymond.
Now,
Nailed it.
follow-up question.
Yeah.
Do we know she was in an X-Men movie? What X-Men character did she play?
Great question.
Amazingly, too. And she actually didn't return for the next one after it. Because she's like, I'm starting on a Netflix series show. I'm not just going to come here and have like 4 lines again.
Fair. Completely fair. Hold real quick. Tim and Raymond are getting me the ansur. Just hold real quick for everybody.
Well,
okay, hold for the correct answer. Holding for the correct answer. Hold, please. My get on uppers always deliver for me. Here we go. Boo Pomeranian. I wish I was joking, but Lana was in
it. The title alone. Yeah, it's all the boys.
Okay.
That was a movie. It was a movie show. Okay, it was a movie show. Yes. Okay, she played Jubilee. She played Jubilee in X-Men Apocalypse, which was set in the 80s. She did amazingly. She looked so good, and Jubilee just can't get justice in any of the X-Men series. She's always cut. She has no lines, and we love Jubilee.
What does Jubilee do? What's her power?
She makes things sparkle. Pew pew pew. Sparkles.
Are you kidding me?
Pew, pew, pew.
That is amazing. Is that what?
Now, not to be confused, because Jubilee was introduced in the 90s, and in the 80s they had Dazzler.
Rainbow
Do you know what
Bright.
Dazzler did?
Oh,
do you know what Dazzler did?
What did Dazzler do?
She made things sparkle. Lights, pew, 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 pew. Lights. Raymond is correct. Jubilee had the power of fireworks. And like Tim said, I forgot about that. Poor Jubilation Lee. She had Jubilee in the very first X-Men in 2000s. Right. She's in one scene when Anna Paquin's Rogue sits down in class. There's a scene. It might even be a cut scene. I think it was a cut scene. She sits down in class, and there's a girl that looks just like Jubilee, and oh my gosh, that's Jubilee. And then in this X2, X-Men United, Jubilee has a scene where her hands start to crackle in the museum, and the professor's like, we got to go. And that scene cut, deleted scene.
Oh no. Okay.
And then she got 4 lines in X-Men Apocalypse, but she looked so good. Raymond said it's on the DVD. It's on the DVD. I've watched that scene a million times. I'm like, oh, it's Jubilee.
Fireworks out of here. Okay. I would argue
you don't like
the reason
fireworks. Pew 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 pew.
That is not a superpower. That's a lighting coordinator. That's who. And then and cue for lights in 3, 2. That is a valuable job.
Fun fact about Dazzler is I now feel like we should have every week I introduce you to a or just some sort of wild comic book character, just who is this person?
Great.
Because Dazzler is great. Dazzler it does lights, just creates light. It is a pop star, it's an 80s pop star. So she's she sings and she also makes things
looky there.
dazzle. She's in the X-Men arcade game. She was one of my favorites. I used to always play as Dazzler.
Okay. Have to, as you know, I'm reading Bob Iger's book, and by reading, I mean listening to it on Audible. And he tells the time of how he acquired Marvel, and he went to Steve Jobs to be like, hey, what do you think about this? Because did Pixar together.
Yeah.
Steve Jobs not a fan of comic books at all in any way, shape, or form. So Bob Iger like presented this huge thing of like, what about this character and this character and this character? He's like, it's stupid. But he was wrong. He
Wow.
was
Steve Jobs
wrong.
was
But I would love
way
to see that
wrong.
book. And I wonder if
Mm.
Fireworks Girl made the initial book to win Steve
Oh.
Jobs over.
But there's Jubilation Lee. She can make fireworks happen. I'm in. It would be Raymond said that would be a fun game for Marvel Movie Monday. Just like a little instruction. All right. Let's see. And our next one is Natasha Richardson. Richardson.
Just real quick, I would love to. Could we do a Jammy Lion of superhero characters?
Oh yeah, that's
Does
one.
this
Like,
exist or not?
am I
For comic
making
book
it
characters?
up? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So Natasha Richardson would have been 59 today, but we're gonna celebrate her anyways. She was in this Lindsay Lohan movie. We know her, we love her for being in this Lindsay
Oh,
Lohan
right.
movie.
Yeah. Okay. I
Mhm.
think I know this one. I was really sad when I think a skiing accident of all things
Mhm.
is what happened there. Get on Numbers. Okay, Jam, you plug yours. Get on Numbers. I think it's Parent Trap. Does that seem right? Was she in the reboot of Parent Trap with Lindsay Lohan? You look at me. I'm like, I loved her. I can't name one movie this one was in. Oh, Mean Girls. Interesting. Do I remember her in Mean Girls? Maybe. Okay. All right, Raymond. I like that. Let's see if we get any other answers coming in. No name. Hi, no name. Happy to have you here. We're trying to figure out which movie Natasha Richardson was in with Lindsay Lohan. Okay, we have a two-part answer: Parent Trap and Mean Girls.
Okay, only one of those is correct.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. Tim says, I think you're probably right about Parent Trap. Okay. Raymond, you were right about a multiverse. You were correct that in the multiverse, she is in Mean Girls. But in this question, we think it's Parent Trap.
All right, let's look at the answer. Show me Parent Trap. Ding, 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 ding. It was. Ooh, Pomeranian came in and said the Parent Trap too, tipping the scales. Okay. Parent Trap. Yeah. It's so interesting. I remember hearing stories about Liam Neeson's wife had died during a skiing accident. And I will never forget it because it was an example of like Liam Neeson is such a hardcore actor. He was filming a movie at the time and he finished filming the movie like in the next 3 days. He finished filming it and then went home to like deal with everything and grieve. And I always think that's so interesting. And then I realized it was her. She's so great in that movie, The Parent Trap. And they did a Parent Trap reunion during remember like beginning of the pandemic, there were all these Zoom reunions. I think it was because they just could do it from home. And so they didn't have to get everybody in the studio. There were so many Zoom reunions. They did a Parent Trap reunion and they kind of just talked about like, doing the movie and things that they missed. And they talked about how much they missed her as well.
That's so sweet. That's really nice. Okay. I like that. A whole heap.
Mm-hmm.
Well, happy 59th birthday.
Also, like, okay, also just keep in mind too that it would have been Salvador Dali's 118th birthday. We did their question yesterday, but it also would have been Corey Monteith's 39th birthday today.
Okay. How about that? All right. Happy birthday to Corey Monteith.
Okay, Corey Monteith's birthday. Can you name the sport his character played on Glee?
Oh, sure. I feel like that's just, well, gosh, now because that seems so obvious. It was a football, you guys? It was Corey and football? We can all picture him in a jersey. Was it football? Oh, wow. Whoa. That's so interesting. Pomeranian is saying that Vanessa Richardson's mom was Vanessa Redgrave. Fascinating.
Wow.
I did not know that.
Wow.
And Raymond agrees that we think Corey played football in Glee.
The football. Okay. All right. Show me football. Ding, 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 ding. Man, I think I've talked about this so many times here on the podcast, this morning show. I don't do a podcast anymore. But I've tried to do a Glee rewatch so many times. Like I've tried so many times. I made it to season 5 in the first, like when it was on. So I'm so dedicated addicted to shows. I will watch it to the bitter end, even when I'm like, I don't like this anymore. But now there's too much programming. I can't.
Yeah.
And so I made it all the way to like halfway to season 5, and then like it was right before the pandemic was started, and as it was going into the pandemic, I was doing like another rewatch, and then the stuff with what's her face, Leah Michelle, came out like after the murder of George Floyd. She was like, I care about black people too, and one of the actresses from season 6 was like, no, you don't.
Do not.
You said you were gonna poop in my wig, like like just being a monster. And so I was like, ugh, I gotta take a break from this. And then I tried to go back to it, and then Naya drowned, and I just was like, I can't do this.
No, I think that's okay. I think it's okay. I think there's plenty of other good programming out there that you can partake in.
Yeah,
that's fine. I think that's all right.
All right, we have 2 more. Frances Fisher is turning 69. Was in this HBO series. Frances Fisher.
Okay. Let's
69.
See. HBO. Oh yeah. Okay. Whoa. Weirdly, I know this. Huh.
Wow. I'm like,
I know.
I literally was like, no, I don't think Renee's got to get this one.
Well, she did watch the 8th season. She did watch the 8th season, so she is on par with it. I think, unless I'm wrong about this, but I think Get On Uppers. I think I know it, but let's have you chime in and make sure that you also can sort of corroborate my my story. Crystal, hi. We're so happy to have you here. I think that it is Game of Thrones. Yeah? How do you guys feel? Do we think it's Game of Thrones? Does that seem right? You can picture her, right? Game of Thrones.
She was also
people.
She's been in, oh my god. Yeah. She's been in so many things. She was also in Titanic. Wasn't she the mom in Titanic? I think she was the mom in Titanic. Maybe, like Kate Winslet's mom. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Okay. She was like, stop being with that poor boy. I didn't realize she's a British American actress. I feel like she's always just playing American roles.
Right.
I had no idea.
Oh, she's good. Tim's saying it's not Game of Thrones. Okay.
Yeah. Look at that.
Look at me. I'm like, I know this.
Firmness. With such firmness, Tim is like, it is not Game of Thrones. And Tim would be correct. Tim would be correct.
In Game of Thrones. Who am I thinking of? I wonder. Watchmen. Pomeranian says. Great. Let's do it. The Watchmen.
All right. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah. That's how I was like, wow. I was like, oh, Renee's not going to get that. And then Renee was like, I know this with every fiber of my being. And it's like, oh, okay. Yeah. And then when you said, oh, I definitely watched the last. When you said I watched the last season, I was like, only had 1 season, so I don't think Renee.
Do we any guesses on who I'm thinking of? Who do I think she looks like in Game of Thrones?
I don't know. There's a lot of older white women on that show. Are you thinking of what's her face? Leah? No, what's her face? Cersei, the woman who played Cersei? Thinking of her? No.
Maybe.
Daenerys Targaryen.
No.
Do you think this is Daenerys?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, maybe it's the woman with that hat. The older woman.
That's what I'm thinking of. It was just like you put a hat on her and she's Game of Thrones. That's it.
Okay. I can see it. I do see it. The woman with the hat.
Thank you. Yeah, exactly. No, just picture a hat, you guys.
no, Tim, not Mama Stark. Who was the woman? She was Marjorie's grandmother. Like Marjorie's grandmother. Remember the older woman? I think she ends up getting poisoned or something. But yes, the woman with the hat. Okay.
The woman in the hat in Game of Thrones. She could also be.
Understudy for. Okay. Last one for today. Mary. Oh gosh, there's actually this is like a clown car of birthdays today. I can't read because there's a few more. Mary Elizabeth Ellis, our last one. I'll just read these other facts for today. Mary Elizabeth Ellis played her real life husband's crush on this show. Played her real life husband's crush on Tim said that was the late Diana Rigg. I didn't realize Diana Rigg passed away.
I didn't either. I clearly
don't know who Diana Rigg is.
Clearly I didn't know that. Obviously. That is very honest. Love it. And Stacey confirming
that other woman was Diana Rigg.
Okay, yeah, let's see. I can picture her being disgruntled, but what show is that in? The League? I don't know. Let's see. Okay, Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Yes, that's it. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, the waitress. There it is. Thank you.
Ding, 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 ding. Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. So her real life husband is which one of those guys? Not the short one. I'm sorry. Not the sometimes
Charlie.
beefy one.
Yeah.
Charlie. It is Charlie. Okay.
Oh, that is her husband? Oh, I don't know what I'm asking.
Oh, I was asking too.
Okay.
I would have figured you, Renee, as a Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah, you would think.
Everyone loves that. Everyone loves it. I watched the first 3 seasons. I did.
Same. Like
Charlie Day is her husband.
This is great. Okay.
Charlie Day is her husband. Yeah, I thought he was gonna be. It didn't seem like he was gonna be the next big thing. I don't know what happened. Renee, you know what this. We know where the street is. Renee, what happened?
He was just in a good movie on Amazon Prime. I think he arguably is the next big thing. He's been in a lot of big stuff.
Okay.
It's just hard to keep up with everything.
Renee gets the scuttlebutt, so Renee could be like, he's a terrible person.
What do I think? What do I think happened? No, I think I think he's I think he might be good. I don't know. I haven't heard anything bad.
All right. Well, that's always a good sign. It's always a good sign. All right. Well, thank you everybody for playing Celebrity Birthdays. You all won. You did so well today. Thank you for all our folks who've been participating.
Okay, she was ready. She got it by the end of the segment.
She was ready. She was ready. And Raymond, you were right. Raymond, also producer on the show. That's a great idea. We should absolutely play that. Renee, have it ready every day.
Okay. Yes. Okay. All right. I won't. Absolutely not. No, you know better. You know better than to have me prep. Me prep? Me? I mean, maybe. We can hope. We can dream.
I won't. Yeah, okay, sure. No, I'm not going to.
No, all right. I just want to set expectations properly.
Sarah, maybe Sarah, you can have it queued up and Sarah can just play it from the background. It's like background.
That could also work. That could also we can also that. I might be able to if it is up on Spotify. There's a chance. Ready to go. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
I think we can get away with playing 10 seconds of it, though. I think there's like a rule. I think we can get away with doing 10 seconds of it. I don't think this is going to get taken down on YouTube for that. Stevie Wonder? No, I doubt it. 10 seconds? I think we can do it. We just want the happy birthday part. Let's see. Maybe we could get Stevie Wonder to call in and sing it. I think that's actually the better option.
That's the that's the easiest route, I think.
Yeah, there it is. Raymond, congratulations. You're doing the show finally right. Episode 79. We got there. We did it. Big thank you to Pomeranian, Stacey, Tim, and Raymond for chiming on in during that last segment. Don't forget, if you're just tuning in and you're like, how do I also tune in? You just say whatever you want. You just say is the magic word. Whatever you say after that, we'll get you tuned in. All right. It is Asian Pacific American Heritage Month. Asian Pacific American Heritage Month. And today we are celebrating Yuri Kuchiyama. Yuri Kuchiyama is a great story. So, Yuri Kuchiyama I was an activist, a political activist who dedicated her life to contributing to social change through her participation in social justice and the human rights movement.
Amazing.
Yes. So the story goes, so they were a tireless activist. They were born and raised in San Pedro, California. And so after the bombing of Pearl Harbor, her father, just out of surgery, was arrested and they were detained in a hospital. So that is not great, right? Like, again, America was wild and just racially profiling everybody that they could that was of Asian descent, specifically, Japanese Americans.
Right.
She said that he was the only Japanese person in that hospital, so they hung a sheet around him that said "prisoner of war," and then he died shortly after that. So that's kind of like the thing that like lit
Yeah.
her fire here. And so then in 1943, and again, we were talking about Yuri Kuchiyama. You can, I think we'll get a picture of it up here in a second. In 1943, picture is coming. Got it. Thank you. In 1943, under President Roosevelt's Executive Order 9066, Kuchiyama and her family were sent to a concentration camp in Arkansas, Jerome, Arkansas. I have an ex named Jerome, and I knew he was no good. He had a concentration camp over in his business. And so family were sent to the concentration camp for 2 years. This experience and her father's death, you can only imagine. Father dies in a hospital. Does not get the attention that he needs. Prisoner of war. Family gets carted off. And I gotta tell you, they lost people who were sent off to these concentration camps, these Americans, these Japanese Americans. They lost everything. They lost everything. When they came back, they weren't able just to go back to their house. There was somebody living in there, their shops, their stores. They lost everything and had to completely start over. And so, this just made her really aware of, government abuses and what the government would be, capable of. And then so they were released, and she moved to New York and married Bill Kuchiyama, who was a veteran of the all Japanese American 442nd Combat Unit of the U.S. Army. So I think, again, like, I don't know, I just get so tired of seeing like these World War II movies, and it's just a bunch of white people running around. And like, there were other people who were fighting there too, other people. And this regiment, hearing about this all Japanese American regiment, would be a great movie to see. And then yes, okay, Pomeranian saying gentle correction, internment camp, not concentration camp. Thank you for the correction there. So Kuchiyama's activism started in Harlem in the early 1960s. So after this, she was like, okay, I got to get up and involved. Even Raymond was like, this would be a great movie. There's so many other movies in history that we should explore, So she participated in the Asian American, Black, and Third World movements for civil and human rights, ethnic studies, and against the war and Vietnam. So she was a fixture in support movements involving organizations such as the Young Lords and the Harlem Community for Self-Defense, and as a founder of Asian American for Action. She also sought to build a more political Asian American movement that would link itself to the struggle for Black liberation. She had this quote. She said, "Racism has placed all ethnic peoples in similar positions of oppression, poverty, and marginalization." So she was like, let's rally together. Come on, let's go. Let's go. And then in 1963, she met Malcolm X, and they had a great friendship and political alliance that just really, changed her outlook on things. It was noted in this author, Vincent Intondi, said, on June 6, 1964, 3 Japanese writers and a group of atomic bomb survivors arrived in Harlem as part of the Hiroshima-Nagasaki World Peace Study mission. And their mission was to speak out against nuclear proliferation. So again, like also thinking about like in the 60s, I mean, I couldn't imagine. I mean, what a wild time. I sometimes just think about like how things seem so bad now. I mean, it was really bad in the 60s. There was so much civil unrest, rightfully so. You had this nuclear arms race that was also happening. I think, was it the Korean War or the Vietnam War was also raging over there? Vietnam War. Because Martin Luther King was like speaking out against it. There's just like so many things, and you didn't even have Netflix, so not a great time.
Exactly.
Not great for anybody. Women weren't really able to do much of anything. People of color, don't think about it. Queer people, I don't think so. Like, not great. Not really great. Sadly, it's never been better. Isn't that kind of the
Yeah.
weird thing to think
Yeah.
about? It's
Yeah.
actually never been better.
Truly insane. It's insane. Yeah.
Oh man. Oh
Right.
yeah, too. Also, like for like people with any disabilities as well. Not great, Raymond. Such a good point. Yeah, like it's just again, sadly, it's never been better, and it's not great, but it's okay.
Right.
It's okay.
Right. Is it okay? I guess. Ugh. Ay,
Yeah,
ay, ay,
Raymond, that's
ay.
a really
Yeah.
great point. Yeah, we often forget too, like people with disabilities or handicapped people weren't allowed to do much either. Even just accessibility and being able to get around. You're absolutely incredibly right. So, but it took people like activists like Yuri Kuchiyama, this Japanese American activist, to really get out there. So she was, organizing with Malcolm X. Um, Malcolm X said when they had a conversation, he said, you have been scared by the atom bomb, and you just saw that we have also been scared. The bomb that hit us was racism. They went on to discuss prison, education, and Asian history. Malcolm also said, talking about Vietnam, if America sends troops to Vietnam, you progressives should protest. The struggle of Vietnam is the struggle of the whole third world, the struggle
Yeah.
against colonialism, neocolonialism, and imperialism. And Yuri was present on the day. Oh, I didn't realize this.
Yeah.
Yuri was present on the day that Malcolm X was tragically shot and killed in 1965. Yeah. She was there.
Right.
She was there.
Right.
And actually, she can be seen crouched in the background, cradling Malcolm X's head. Wow. She's there.
Jeez. Okay. All right. Wow.
It was right there. Wild. There is a great documentary. I think it's on Netflix, and it's called Who Killed Malcolm X. It is fascinating. It's a 4-part series. Really, really good. Highly recommend.
Right.
Yep. And then in the 1980s, Kuchiyama worked in the redress and reparations movement for Japanese Americans along with her husband, Bill. So the idea was for support for political prisoners. She also was working on support for political prisoners, African American, Puerto Rican, Native American, Asian Americans, and progressive whites. It was all, part of her work. And I will say, I think if you all are familiar with it, is that Japanese Americans who were in the internment camps did get reparations eventually in the 80s. All that to say that there are examples of reparations, like it is possible. We've done it here in the United States before. They did reparations in Germany. We've never had any sort of reconciliation for slavery in this country. There's never been an apology from the country. There's never been, in some states, I think California is now having a movement. Maybe we can talk about that, Sarah. Make a note. Maybe we dive into on a Medical Monday about California has a plan for reparations here for Black folks, because again, they were like, hey, you're free now. Go figure it out. Never got their 40 acres and a mule. And that would have made such a difference in folks' life to have land and a mule, which meant you can get things going for yourself. What a difference. And as we know, things in this country have just completely continuously slated it. So, folks at the bottom, it makes it very hard to get out. There are exceptions. Absolutely. Oprah, Jay-Z, Beyonce. Yes. But that's not everybody's story. Okay. And so Kuchiyama, who died June 1st, 2014, so not too long ago. So just again, you can continue. I think there's a book. It's called Passing It On by Yuri Kuchiyama. You can definitely check this book out. There's also a documentary out on here. So I would say if you want to learn more, don't just take my word for it. Keep exploring the work of Yuri Kuchiyama. Oh, look at this.
Damn.
Pomeranian. You were so right. Pomeranian said they did get reparations, but it was so late. Many of the survivors had already died. You're so right. The 80s, reparations are coming through.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
It was 1940. Pomeranian, you're so right. That should have happened immediately. And it's not like they didn't have notes. They're like, Germany, you got to do right and do better. And they're like, okay, great. We're going to give reparations to the Jewish survivors. We're really sorry. So sorry this happened. And then US is just like, blink, 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 blink. Yeah. That's right. Meanwhile, do the same thing. You literally had internment camps over here as well. Again, these people they had to start from scratch. And I always think it's really remarkable of like there's actually, a friend of mine wrote this play that talks about the Japanese American internment camps, and that it kind of skipped a generation in terms of like talking about it. Like that generation was just like, okay, you know what, this happened. We're just gonna go to work and like, rebuild our lives here, and didn't really talk about it to like the next generation. And then it was like the generation after was like, wait a minute, grandpa, grandma, what happened? Like, yeah, who are actually diving into it.
Interesting. Huh. Well, boy, this is it's tricky because it gets into the territory of it should have happened immediately. So I think people who are on the wrong side of it can be like, well, then I guess it doesn't matter. Then I guess if it's too late, then we just won't do it. Like, no, no, no. I need you to hear that it was too late, and I need you to do it better in the future. And then I still need you to take care of this now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, another I am not loving this, Jam. I am not loving that. This is another one that wasn't on my radar. I'm learning a ton, and I think that's good. And I think that's maybe the whole reason that we do this is that you gotta learn. But this is the second one that I wasn't on my radar. So thank you. But
it's kind of I think it's kind of indicative of the Asian Pacific American heritage community, Asian Pacific American community. Like I even had in a meeting, I started off, I said, okay, who is someone in the Asian Pacific American community throughout history or culturally that you admire? And there are a few people like, I can't name anybody, which is kind of like, okay, I mean, could at least like low hanging fruit said like Sandra like or like Lucy Liu, or like Lisa Ling or something. But I just think it's such a culture that has not gotten their, I think, respect in terms, and it's the huge diaspora because we're talking about Asian Pacific American. I mean, that's all the continent of Asia, also the Pacific Islands. We've had so many amazing contributions to the United States, and so I think it's just now indicative of us. Who was it? Was it you that were saying this? That like the learning never stops. Wasn't there someone who was like grad school doesn't end? Weren't you talking? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that sounds a little too highbrow for me, but I agree with that. Yes, I do think the learning never ever stops, and I think the thing that stops learning is shame that you don't know. I should know this by now, and so then you just quit. But that's fine. No, there's no judgment. There's no shame. So long as you were curious and wanting to be better, I'll take it. I'll take that. I'll live a long day. Yeah.
Well, welcome to Aaron. Just in time, we're going to get into, take a look at this news. Or, what do we think about, actually, I'm sorry. What do we think about this news?
What do we think about that?
Renee, can you kick us off?
Yes, I would love nothing more. Now, you guys know I'm getting it back to Broadway. Why wouldn't I get it back to Broadway? Because she loves it. She absolutely loves it. This one I love a little bit less. And by a little bit less, I mean a lot less than I loved telling you about the Tony Awards yesterday. So there is a show on Broadway right now called Take Me Out. And in it, it is about a baseball player who was gay, and he came out gay, and the ramifications of that. So we don't love all of that as far as the notion of it, but it talks about really big topics, and it's very important. And it stars these two sweeties right here. So we got Jesse Tyler Ferguson, as well as okay, hold on. We got the article all pulled up. Darren Lame, Williams stars as Darren Laming, the biracial gay center field who grapples with personal and professional fallout from being gay. So in a baseball movie, as it should be, you're going to have a locker room scene. And in that locker room scene, you are changing clothes. And so in the show, the actors are naked. Because it's theater, and we've known that for a long time, since already, it's art, it's theater, it's whatever. So the theater took all the precautions necessary to make sure that this is respected as the theater piece it is supposed to be. As you enter the theater, you are given a little lockbox to put your phone in. They lock it up. Your phone will not be with you for the duration of the show. As soon as the show is over, you get your phone back. But recently, someone did get their phone in. They snuck it in. They took video of this locker room scene, and then they put it online. So we now have a non-consenting video of this scene of them naked online. First off, what do we think of that? Second, I think the theater is doing the best they can to try to reprimand it. They're trying to find it. They're trying to take it down. They're trying to scrub the internet of it. They've released a statement. Equity is also involved. The two actors are speaking out against it. Jesse Tyler Ferguson sent a more scolding tweet saying, I am appalled at the disrespect shown of the actors of our company whose vulnerability on stage every night is crucial to take me out. Anyone who applauds or trivializes this behavior has no place in the theater, which has always been a safe place for artists and audience members. But then what's so interesting is that the person who was actually naked, that actually had their vulnerability on stage, also tweeted out, if you are coming here for nudity, you're going to be real bored. It's going to be a long, boring night. It's within a challenging 2.5-hour play with big ideas, beautiful language, and remarkable acting from a company of 11 actors that you will have to sit through as well. You'll be bored, trust. And I just think that that's such an interesting approach to it, of just like, no, man, I'm gonna look at the big picture of it and just like, no, that's not where you come for this. So go ahead, don't do that anymore. What do we think about this?
Well, Raymond said the theater is doing, like you said, their part, and the theater is doing the right thing.
Right.
Pomeranian said, "Oh no, do not like that at all."
Mm-hmm.
You Hope C Theater can do not wrong. I love JTF. Yeah, it's very interesting. And Raymond said at least he has a sense of humor about it. And Jesse Williams is such an incredibly talented man,
Genius.
and
Yeah.
it's just so incredibly talented. I'm sad he's not in Grey's Anatomy anymore, but at least they didn't
I
kill
know.
him off. He got to like drive
Right.
off into the sunset, so that was nice.
That's nice.
And then yeah, Tim said, yeah, those pics were unavoidable on Twitter yesterday. Oh no, I'm not on Twitter. Maybe I'm in the wrong place.
Yeah.
I mean, did I try to Google and find these photos? Maybe, but then I've stopped.
Sure.
So
Sure. That's the tricky part of covering stories like this, is that you are exacerbating it because human interest, everyone's going
be
to
right
look at.
back.
What I will say about this, and this is not the take. This is not the take to have, but the hope is that these guys are nominated for a Tony, and these pictures came out as soon as the Tony nominations came out. So I guarantee the votes have been cast, but I do think it's, it's publicity for the show that may not have
Yeah.
already been there.
Liv, who has seen the show, said that
Yeah.
she thinks it's publicity, and she thinks, well,
Yeah.
first of all, apparently, I don't know how crass we want to be this morning, but Justin Williams has nothing to be ashamed of, is all
Yeah, of
that I
course
have
not.
heard. So there's that.
Yeah.
And yes, so but what's so interesting is that this play, I also just think about, like, it's such an interesting concept with the show. I mean,
Mhm.
having these actors be, first of all, I saw an interview with Jesse Williams on Seth Meyers, and he said, like, he had gone to go see, and I saw this play. Right, it was one of the last shows I saw when I was in New York. It's called A Soldier's Play. It's about like these Black World War II folks, the Black regiment of these World War II folks, based on a true story. Blair Underwood starts the second act with just buttoning up his shirt, and the crowd lost their mind. Oh my god! Because it's Blair Underwood. I mean, the man is sexy.
Of course.
He's in very great shape. And so Jesse and his co-stars were like, "Whoa, what are they gonna do for like when it's us?" And he says, though, the stakes are so high, and that as soon as like someone walks out on stage and they're naked for the shower, like they're in the shower, like everyone's, the scene takes place in the shower.
Right.
Everyone's silent. You can hear it's dead silent. So it's not that kind of show. And just the conversations that they're having are so deep and so intense that it's not. And I think there's something too about the raw vulnerability to be having these like intense conversations like this. I think it's a very I think it's a purposeful choice that the writer probably made, beyond just selling tickets and being provocative. I mean, it's part of that, but
certainly, I think so. But I also think, like, in this article, they were saying that the rehearsal process was everybody was in swimsuits and they did lock up phones. So I think care was taken.
Sure.
It's just a curiosity around. So does it mean like, oh, well, now we can't have art because you can't be respected?
Right. I mean, they do this for, I mean, when I go into any of the Marvel screenings, it's
Mhm.
a little pouch that they
Right.
put your phone in, and you can't get your phone until you leave. Like, you still
Right.
hold it, but it's just
Yeah.
there. I remember the first time they did this, we're so used to our phones that we're like, I guess I
Yeah.
had to talk to the people next to me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, and what do you do during intermission? I guess that doesn't happen for Marvel, but
Yeah. Raymond said, I hope they don't, change the piece. I don't think that they will. I think
I
that
don't think they will. Yeah.
it's not going to stop these boys from being naked.
Yeah.
No, they're going to stop it. Well, thank you, Renee, for reporting on that story.
You're
We
welcome.
appreciate hearing it. In other news, we have our next president of the Philippines was
Okay.
elected, and it's the son of a dictator. So
Hmm.
everything old is new again. People sure do love their dictatorships. Dictatorships are hot right now. You know what's
Yeah.
in? Dictatorships, out democracy. So the Philippines is poised to elect Ferdinand Marcos Jr., its next president, elevating the
Okay.
son of a dictator to leader of the country. And so on Monday, with more than 86% of precincts reporting, Marcos Jr., known by the nickname Bong Bong, and the son of Ferdinand Marcos Sr., who terrorized the country for 2 decades, has already collected nearly 60% of the vote. So it's a very not great moment for democracy. In 1986, the Philippines took to the streets in what was known as the Power of the People Revolution to force out his father. And yes, so that ended up happening, but it looks like, everything old is new again. Marcos
Right.
Jr. has adopted a Trumpian playbook to perfection. He's refused to debate his rivals. He's lambasting critical reporting on his family as fake news, and is using social media to reach a rabid base of supporters directly. So I can only imagine
Yeah.
the lies that are being spread, the conspiracies, and just I don't envy the situation. The debates that are happening. I don't even see what's the difference between like debate is when there's like people with actual like facts like talking their point of view. What
Right.
happens when it's like one person's talking like nonsense and the other person's just trying to be like, no, this is a table, and they're like, French fries. Those are
No.
French fries.
No, absolutely not. Yeah, the belligerent, the delusional.
Mm.
Yeah, all those things.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
don't envy that.
Mm-mm.
I Yes, and so I guess there was an effort to whitewash his family's brutality. So that found success among younger voters because they're like they don't know the truth about what happened back in the 80s. So they're like, oh no, he's a great guy, great
Right.
guy. So there's that going on. So once Marcos Jr. takes office, the Filipinos are grappling with their history. Apparently, like, there's belief that like he's going to be able to, because actually their current leader was also like up to no good, and he's going to be able to what's that word when you're able to people thought that Pence was going to do that for Trump, absolve them of any of like their
Oh,
crimes
sure. Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So there is that because I think the family had accumulated something like 10 billion while in office, and embezzled like all this money and things like that. So yeah, it's hard to fathom what might happen, but just keeping that on their radar, the Philippines, hope and prayers.
Right.
Hopes and prayers.
Yikes. Okay. Jam. It's so interesting how the news, I'm just like, no, no, somebody fix that. No, that cannot happen.
And Sarah
It's,
brought up only
yeah.
five. The family only gave 5 billion back, so they like took 10 billion. They're like, "Hey, what'd you do?" Like, okay, here's five
I guess
billion.
half. There you go.
It's just so unsettling sometimes. I think just the greed and corruption of some leaders.
Right. Yeah.
It's yeah, it's incredibly unsettling, and sometimes it's almost like we've swapped a monarchy for, yeah, it's democracy, but there's
Right.
a lot of similarities when you look at
Yeah.
the average like income of a lot of our politicians, and how you're so out of touch with the everyday
Right.
person
Yeah.
that like I'll never forget. It was, oh, who is it? Joe Manchin in West Virginia. They were like going up to they went to Joe Manchin's yacht. They drove up to
Right.
Joe Manchin's yacht. They're like, don't say yes to this bill, this infrastructure bill. And he's like, I just don't, as he's standing from his yacht being why he can't vote for this infrastructure bill or whatnot, or like it just bewildering.
Truly bizarre. Okay. Yeah. No, I don't
You're in a
know
yacht.
if I love any of this. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Raymond's like, where do we go from here? You know what we do? We get inspired by what would Yuri Kuchiyama do? And again, it's
Yeah.
never been better. We have better circumstances. It was a lot worse back then. Like we just keep doing the work and we keep having the conversations. We don't bury our head in the sand, and it's difficult, but someone did difficult work. I am a openly black queer man on a morning show. That's revolutionary. Yeah. Me showing up and doing this and being here, it's revolutionary. Renee and I can like talk to each other and I'm not carted away. That's a big deal.
It's incredible. And so far, I'm not being forced to have babies. So we're doing great so far. Let's see how it all turns out. But so far, we're thriving.
Okay. Well, I wasn't going to go quite thriving. I was going to be like, we're here. We're here.
We are here. And
but we keep having these conversations. We keep speaking truth to power, and we don't give up. So look, we got a yay out of Raymond. Raymond's like, yay, we're doing it.
I'll take a yay. I will absolutely take a yay. Now, Jam, as I scroll through the doc, it looks like Sarah killed it. She knocked it out of the park and giving me news, but all my news things, one I already covered, and then two are like enormous articles that I want to read. I can't skim them. I can't skim them fast enough. So I will read, and then I will report back on mine. Would you want to scoot over to while we're working it? Do you think we
Did you want to do your little Ellen story? There's a little Ellen
I already covered
story.
it.
Did you?
Yeah, we talked about how she filmed the last one and how Kelly Clarkson is going to replace her.
Right.
But I'm happy to tell you about it. So, but in case you missed it, I would love to tell you that Ellen has recorded her very, very last episode. Thank God. So the last one has been recorded. It's been done. It will air on May 26th. And obviously, she's releasing things to the press. She is saying, we taped the final episode of Ellen, which will air on May 26th, and then goes on to say, when I started this show in 2003, the iPhone didn't exist. Social media didn't exist. Gay marriage wasn't legal. We watched the world change, sometimes for the better and sometimes not. Which is true. Yeah, I've been on the show for a very long time. I think we all know Ellen's history, and it does allow room to have empathy for Ellen when you remember that in 1997, she came out as gay. She had a top-rated sitcom on television, and she was stripped of absolutely everything simply for saying that she was gay. They took away her show. They took away her stand-up. They took away everything. And then she had the courage to come back. She did a stand-up career, which eventually led to coming back on the show. So I think the thing that is interesting is something that you say all the time, in that I went through it, and so you also have to, or I went through it, so you don't have to. And I think Ellen chose the former. I went through this scrutiny. I went through people being absolutely awful to me and not treating me like a human, and so I will conduct myself the exact same way on my set, which is a shame. I'm sorry to hear that happened. I think we can understand why. We can explain it. I don't know if it excuses it.
Sure. Oh, I like that. We can explain it. I don't know if that excuses it. I like that. Put that on a t-shirt. I love it. But I do think, as you were talking, I was thinking connecting to the thing that I just said again, like I am an out and proud person being able to do a show, and it's through Ellen helped pave the way for folks like myself to be able to. I mean, to the point there were two blog sites called AfterElton.com and AfterEllen.com, and I would frequent these in the early 2000s to get gay centered news, because these were the first two pioneers. AfterElton.com, like Elton John was really the first person to come out and still have a career. And then Ellen, took a bit of time, but after her, how things, had changed after that. So, Yes, and then Pomeranian saying, if it is true about her unkindness, if what is said about her unkindness is true, that is not okay. And I can corroborate. I know people who've worked on that show.
Same. Yeah. Dear friends who it is the most toxic environment I've ever heard of. It is cruel. It's cruel. They are cruel over there. So I think it's an interesting thing. I also have a working theory that is more often true than not, in a way that I'm like, oh God, if someone doubles down on something, absolutely doubles down on something, they're the opposite. Almost always. Whatever you're like, this, I will not stand for this, is like, well, because you do it. That's why.
Because she's like, no bullying. No bullying.
So keep an eye out. Absolutely. If someone's truly doubling down on something, you're probably not doing it. I will say that mostly to performative feminists. Yes, yeah.
So it looks like just moving us along here in the sorry. Pomeranian said, yes, Renee, we see the roots of her frustration and anger, but it's misdirected. It is misdirected. It really is.
So well said.
Yep. Raymond said, I don't care because I think Ellen is a person. She's a person.
Sure.
And I think it's time for we're gonna get to stop talking about her. Like she gets to retire in the sunset. But I think
absolutely,
let this be a learning lesson of be kind, especially when you're at the top in a leadership role. Like it's so important to lead with kindness. Lead with kindness.
And yes, Pomeranian, you're right. A dear friend, Kevin Porter, publicly called her out. So this was this last summer? I think so. I think this was in 2021 that Kevin Porter started to tweet and then wrote an article sort of being like, hey, this is happening. And then they did an investigative report. And the report also said, yep. And everyone on staff was so terrified to get in trouble that no one would go on record. Everyone, it was all, you got to keep me anonymous. So I think they fired a few showrunners here and there, but it is a trickle down system. No matter what industry you're in, whoever is at the top, whatever their morals, whatever their personality is, will trickle down throughout the rest of the show. So that's I don't know, man. I understand it, but there are plenty of people who can be kind.
Yeah,
who can replace you.
Very true. Yep. All right. Stacey Abrams lands $1 million donation from George Soros. A $1 million donation from George Soros. So she's getting ready for her governor campaign run. Huge fundraising boost. Unfortunately, we all know the way our politics works. It takes money to run a campaign. You don't necessarily need the most money to be able to win a campaign, but you do need money. So George Soros, the billionaire and entrepreneur and philanthropist, is donating $1 million to Abrams' campaign. She won't be able to spend any of the money until she's officially crowned as the Democratic nominee for the seat. But I imagine that's going to happen, and she's going against Brian Kemp, who at least this time is not organizing the elections, because last time he was like the Secretary of State. The Secretary of State runs the elections, so it's just like, wait, this doesn't seem right. That's like me competing against Renee on Dancing with the Stars, but I'm also the judge.
That is weird. Yeah, it's then okay.
Isn't that weird? Like,
yes.
12s for me. I get 12. Renee, I'm sorry, you got a 3. I'm sorry.
Well, I guess that does seem fair. Yeah.
Oh my God. She won't be able to spend that money until after she wins the Democratic nominee spot. The new law allows candidates for certain offices in Georgia to set up so-called leadership committees, which are a special kind of political organization allowed to skirt the usual campaign fundraising limits and collect unlimited amounts of donors. So it seems like she's like just playing the game that is there. As originally written, Kemp could immediately be. Oh, okay. So I guess there's a law. So George Soros is doing this to help Stacey Abrams to be able to stay in the race and go against Kemp, because I guess Kemp is able to skirt around this law, that he's able to like do some fundraising ahead of time. And so with this new law, Kemp could immediately begin using his leadership because he's the governor incumbent. So he's able to kind of scoot around. He can like start using his money.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So, but let the race begin. The midterms right around the
Truly.
corner. Election season's
Okay.
here, and
It's about to
there
get
it is.
nuts. Yeah.
It's about to get nasty.
Truly. Okay. Well. Yeah, this fall's gonna be interesting.
To quote Samuel L. Jackson in Jurassic Park, hold
Mhm.
on to your butts. Hold
You
on
simply
to your
gotta.
butts.
You know what's Stacey Abrams should just be president. So this is a completely separate thing. But I do think recently we've had some trouble, and all the Democrats are like, "You got to vote," and you're like, "We literally just did that. We flipped Georgia. Are you kidding me? We did our job." It's so it's getting a little frustrating. I'm just like, yeah, no, we
Yeah.
did. We
No,
already did that.
we did. We
So
came
you want
out.
to do the
We
job?
even came out like in a special election.
Yeah.
And again, this is what I've been saying for the longest time: abolish the Senate. It's the
Mhm.
Senate. Things are getting passed left and right in the House, and it is the
Yeah.
Senate that is this holding out of Joe
Right.
Manchin and Kirsten Sinema. And my whole entire thing is like, that's like, we can't ever see whose fault it is, and so both sides are able to blame the other, right? So
Right.
we're not able to get anything passed. Like, I think if one side's able to do the work, then we're able to see this is what it's like when the side is in power. So then we can
Yeah.
see, do we like this? And if we
Mhm.
don't like it, we'll vote in the other direction. My hunch is a lot of, the conservative laws that are up there, people will be like,
Right.
I actually don't like this. This actually isn't serving me. These tax breaks are just going to the rich people. I have terrible schools. My rights are actually even being more infringed upon, right? We
Right.
can't
Right.
see the value of any of this. So
Yeah.
even Pomeranians like stay safe for POTUS, stay safe for POTUS.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to wildin' or working it. Wildin' or working it. Who's working it? Who's wildin'? Who's working it? Who's wildin'? I think that's Renee's favorite bop of the Get On Up soundtrack.
Yes. Absolutely.
All right. I want to revisit Renee's Take Me Out conversation. So I think this is gonna be, I'm just curious. Now we're gonna vote.
Yeah.
The person who took who took the video and then posted it, were
Yeah.
they wilding
Oh
or
my
working
God.
it?
Yeah. I mean, I want to make this interesting because the answer is wilding it and they should be locked up. But I wonder if is there a way that we can reframe this that actually makes it like a debate, a curious thing around it. How about this? Is it wilding or working it to expose people to theater who should not be in the theater? How much of a chance do we give them?
I think we've got to. I think it's working it. You tried. You tried.
Right.
And
Right.
in that question, I would say working it because you're trying. But some people
Sure.
will prove to you that they're going to be wildin'.
Yeah.
Aaron said, Renee, that's brilliant. Raymond said they were there for one obvious reason. Clearly,
Yeah.
they were like, "Oh,
Yeah.
naked play. Okay, hold on.
Absolutely.
It'll be
It's just
right
such
there."
a command. Like a Broadway ticket is not a cheap price. I
No.
guarantee you paid $200 to get that photo.
Yep.
Which
No.
okay, all right, okay. But karma, I do
Well,
believe in karma on that one. Karma's gonna come back around and get you in a way
it's
that
gonna get him. It's gonna get
you.
him.
I also think it's something that can be comforting is to really think about God, what's going on in your life that all made sense to you. Who are you surrounded by? What love are you missing that seemed like a good choice?
I think we just need to set them in a room with Renee for 30 minutes, and Renee will just make them feel so bad about their life choices. Yeah, what's so wrong with your life that you thought this was the decision? This was the
Yeah.
play? Okay,
Yeah.
you're sad. Okay, you've got
I get
all
it.
right, I
I
understand it.
understand. What attention are you missing that you hoped that this would bring you? I'll let you know what?
Shame.
I'm gonna stare at
Give me
you
the
all day.
shame
I'm just
bell.
gonna stare at
We're
you all
gonna
day.
just
Yeah.
we're gonna put Renee in the room with them with the shame bell, and Renee's
Yeah.
just gotta be ringing that bell.
Yep.
Shame,
Yeah.
shame.
That's
Okay,
how I feel
I
about
think
it.
we all agree this person's
Yes.
violent. Got it. All right, next one. So there's rumors that Danny Boyle,
Right.
director Danny Boyle, who he directed some of the one of the 007 films, but so he is talking about Richard Pattinson, who is our emo Batman that we didn't know we wanted or needed, but we've got it.
We got it.
He has said that he would like to see Robert Pattinson as the new 007. Do we think that Danny Boyle is wilding or working it with the idea of do we think Robert Pattinson as 007 is wilding, or do we think it's working it? He'd be a good 007. What do we think?
Remind me again, did you watch The Batman?
Yes, I did. 3 hours.
Okay.
Amazing.
Wait, how do you feel about Robert? I don't think I've ever seen one of his movies. How do you feel about him as an actor? Is he talented?
Yes, he was in Tenet. I didn't see him in the True Blood. What was it? No. Lady Vampires Be Sexy.
Vampire Diaries. Give me some vampires. We all love vampires. Twilight.
It wasn't vampire. Twilight. There it is.
There we go.
Give me some vampires. We all love vampires. Oh my gosh. Wow. Zacharias. Oh, Sky. Hi, Sky. The Sky from I know Sky. Hi, Sky. Sky is saying wildin'. Sky is saying that they are wildin' with this. Not a fan. I think. Oh wow, Aaron said, "My God, James." I don't remember what all the vampire stories are. You all know there's only one in my book. It's Buffy, and everything else.
Okay, everything else gets a backseat.
Okay. Did everybody? So everyone, Raymond said he's wildin' because it's stupid. He can't be Batman and 007. Wow, Raymond, he can't have both. You can't have both. And I know everyone's falling over themselves thinking Idris Elba should be the new 007. We all know how I feel about Idris Elba. I don't like it.
True.
And
that's
Renee
true.
will tell you it's because I'm jealous.
Yeah, I think that was self-appointed. You have no reason to be jealous. You are better than Idris Elba in every single way. But I do think often jealousy is an indication of I want that. I want that. I think,
it'd be envy because they have something that I want. I'm envious of Idris Elba because jealousy is I'm afraid someone's going to take something that I already have.
Right. Yeah. So he took your role. That would make sense, and I would also be angry about such a thing. But I do agree that I don't know if we need another white guy to be 007. I think we're okay.
Yeah.
I think we're set.
Yeah.
That said, I'm sure he'd be great.
Ring the bell. Said Raymond. Aaron said, wait, can James do the accent? Let's see. Maybe I could be 007.
Can you?
Hello, governor. Would you like some nice?
I'll make a
call.
All
it's
right.
me, James.
I'll let him know. We got him.
007, governor. I think I'm going to be a spy now.
Yeah.
Okay. It's Lady Bottomley who's the villain behind this. I think I got my baby.
Yes. Okay. The casting call for 007 today, we just want to cancel him. No, I found a guy. Trust me. He's going to be great.
Okay,
just trust me. Cancel the auditions. We found the guy. Okay. All right. You too. Bye.
I got it.
I made a call.
All right. Okay. Done. All right. All right. So I hope that answers your question, Aaron. Not like I do it. I nailed it and booked the part. So
you'd be fantastic. Hello, governor is the best way to showcase that you can do an accent.
Tim said twist, Oliver twist. I was going for 007, but
either way,
I'm a papa who's now a spy. Please, sir, can I have some more?
Jam,
guns?
Honestly,
pew, pew,
genuinely,
pew, 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 pew.
It's great. I'm a pauper who's now a spy. Pew, pew, pew. Put that in a script. Write that down. Look at that.
Please, sir, can I have some more vengeance?
Great. All right. Well, that settles that. So it's Wyland because it should be you.
Okay.
Is the answer to that. Okay.
All right. I think we have time for one last one. Oh, I'm afraid I already know what y'all are going to say about this one. Netflix is going to be adding ads sooner than we thought. So Netflix, we all know, has been just in a very troubling situation. Like, they're not coming out of the pandemic thriving. There's just all these other networks that are coming out. It's just they're being left behind in the streaming wars. And apparently they've had cutbacks, staff reductions, messy talent affiliations, subscriber drops. They lied about their I guess their business reportings that they're like, oh, we're doing really well. And then it was like, no, you're not at all. And so shareholders are upset. And so the idea is they're going to be rolling out a commercial supported tier on their service, similar to Hulu or even Paramount Plus. It's not a surprise, but it's coming a lot faster than we expected. I guess it was. It's going to be coming sooner. I don't see exact time, but you can expect it sooner than we thought. They're also having a crackdown on password sharing. That if you want to share your password, you'll have to just pay like a little bit more. So they're like, we want you to be able to share your password, but it's just going to come out a little bit more. They're saying, yeah, it's fast and it's ambitious and it will require some trade-offs, but every major streaming company, excluding Apple, has announced an ad-supported service. So the price tier was raised to $10 a month earlier, but for years we've gotten, used to an interruption-free, easily bingeable Netflix, and that was part of the appeal of streaming. So what do we think? Is it while that Netflix is making these changes, or are they doing what business needs to do and work in it?
First, it's not true. Apple doesn't have commercials. Prime doesn't have commercials. HBO doesn't have commercials. Nope, that's not true. So already you're lying at me. Come on.
Okay.
All Netflix, right. What you doing? What you doing?
Raymond said it's okay as long as the commercials don't bother the show and they don't have like 15 million of them.
That's a good point, Raymond.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'll tell you, I will always buy the ad-free version because I just cannot stand. I have the ad-free version of YouTube, and let me tell you, you all should have the ad-free version. It is so worth it because everybody probably watches at least one YouTube video a day, at least.
Yeah.
And the most annoying thing is the ad beforehand. And you're like, I just want to get. Sometimes you might even not even watch the video you clicked on because there was an ad. And I also feel like you're maybe supporting these YouTube creators more directly. You're keeping the ads out of there, and so.
Yeah, and Pomeranian is right. Like, it depends on whose perspective you're looking from. It's whiling for the customers. It is working for Netflix. Correct. Yeah.
And I'm always not like, I was the person that when the pandemic was first started, like I paid like $30 to rent a movie because I was like, I want to support the entertainment industry. I feel like sometimes people don't realize like there's so many people behind the scenes who need to get paid and they don't get paid unless those ticket sales happen and things like that. And so I'm of the mind of always like supporting artists. I think like the password sharing, like it's only gonna be like $1 or $2 more per the password shares. You're still gonna be not having to pay as much as if. I think that's right. I think it's a good move. I think change is always tricky. I think it makes sense. I think I will give my sister-in-law $2 because I am definitely sharing her Netflix password.
Absolutely. No, you absolutely are. Absolutely. Yeah, it'll be curious to see. It is tricky. We don't love a lying of the report though. That's not good. I think lying about your numbers is indicative of other corruption that's happening within the company. So I don't
seeing through it all.
I mean, maybe, but I guess I 100% agree that I want everyone who is not it doesn't have a C in front of their title, Netflix to be okay. But I don't know.
Oh, she smells scandal.
Corruption.
Just on the case. Renee smells corruption. All right, there it is. All right, well, let's get to our last segment for today. What are you watching? And or Wednesday Wisdom. Because I do have some wisdom I would like to impart on everybody that just heard this morning.
We love your wisdom. We absolutely love it.
Get on up first. What are you watching? You can say what it is that you're watching. The shame bell has.
Yeah, God, I'm really going off this morning. I'm so sorry. I don't mean it. I want people to be kind and play fair.
It's one of your graphic T-shirts. It's Renee with the bell. Ring the bell.
Oh, yeah.
Renee.
Look at her. She got old and she got judgy real fast.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay. What are you watching? Get on uppers. You can chime on in. You can say whatever it is you're watching, or if you're on the YouTubes, you can chat on in. Raymond chiming in. I'm watching The Quest on Disney Plus.
Ooh, what do you think, Raymond? Do you like it?
Are we into it? Are we feeling it? Renee, are you watching a lot of things on Disney Plus these days?
I am. I'm watching Disney Plus, but you know what my little cozy is? I love Girls Five Eva on Peacock. I love it so much. It's so funny. The jokes are so good. They opened it with because it's got that 30 Rock type of just all the jokes, and then Paula Pell, the physical comedy of that woman. And it is the only show I watch where I am alone. There's no reason to like amplify my reaction, and I'm cackling. It's just I love it so much. So Girls Five Hour for some reason hits me in the funny bone in a way that I love so much. I love that show.
Well, and then we have Sky who just chimed in. Snowpiercer season 3. I want to watch Snowpiercer so bad. I saw the movie. I loved it. The film is phenomenal. My doppelganger David Diggs is starring in it. My my cousin, my brother, the person who I get mistaken for at the coffee shop, and they're like, "Here's your coffee for free, David." I'm like, "Okay, can I get a picture with you, David?" Okay, yes, you were great in that Shakespeare show last night. Okay. Yes. So look at this. Pomeranian saying, looking for your suggestions as to what to watch. Nothing scary. So Pomeranian's just like, you're not gonna like my suggestion because I am doing the final season of Ozark. I love this show so much. I love Ozark so much. I've on pins and needles, I have to press pause and sometimes look and see like, is someone gonna get killed in this next scene? Okay, all right. I need to know ahead of time. Smart. Those birds, they keep getting themselves into these situations and drug cartels. And like what I love so much about Ozark compared to Breaking Bad is there's so many strong, well-written women on this series that like Breaking Bad just didn't have. The women, especially now, are just the power players on the show who are really just calling the shots in every single way. So I love it. I love it so much. That's what I'm doing. So much. Yeah. Podcast suggestions. I do have a podcast.
You got one? You got a new one?
I do, and it's where my Wednesday wisdom is gonna come to you from Try It. Oh my God, where's my phone? It was on my phone.
All right, you go find your phone. I got you. Jam's gonna go find his phone, and we're gonna find that podcast. We got it. We got it. What have we rated, reviewed, and subscribed to?
It is called Trials to Triumphs. It's part of the OWN network. They did a feed drop for Oprah's podcast because Oprah really, honestly, in the last 2 years has not done a single new episode for her podcast. Yeah. So she just keeps doing like old episodes of the Oprah show or like old episodes of like Super Soul Sunday. She's not done a new episode. So now she's doing feed drops. The podcast is called From Trials to Triumphs. There was an episode that she did with Sonequa Martin Green because she's also an actress, but she hasn't quite made it. But she is like, I don't know, you'll really appreciate it too. Anybody who's like gone for a dream or struggling through anything, which was like everybody, you will relate to this podcast. It is so good. The episode I just listened to, she has Sonequa Martin Green on it, and Sonequa Martin Green stars in Star Trek Discovery. You know her from The Walking Dead, and she had this quote about how harvest season is the hardest season, and that like sometimes like you just have so many things that are coming up, right? You have like all these crops that are like you planted all these seeds. Yeah, they're all coming up at once. Yeah. And you might feel like she had these moments and she was like, this is impossible. I cannot do all of this. But sometimes your harvest season is actually going to be the hardest because you had planted the seeds. And so, and everything also, if you think about like farming, everything just has a cycle. Right, you know, you have the season. Life is a Ferris wheel. Where you're planting the seeds, you're just planting them. It doesn't feel like anything's happening, but you're planting those seeds. And then you just wait and sometimes have to watch it to grow. And then sometimes it's so much that is coming up at once. You might think it's impossible, but it's not. You just you're in your harvest season is the hardest.
I couldn't agree more. And what's so interesting about that is the note of like when things are going so bad, it is so comforting. And then when things are going so great, you're like, it will continue to be a Ferris wheel. So love it and appreciate it. Yeah. And know that you'll be okay when the Ferris wheel continues to go. And then hold on. Tim was saying that Tim is watching Candy on Hulu and they tried to make Jessica Biel look less glamorous and it's not working. It's not working. I think I'll still check it out though, Tim. Yeah.
Remember, it was hard. She was like, "It's hard," because she's like, "I'm pretty, and it's hard for me to get roles." Well, she's trying her best, Tim. She is trying her best. Raymond said she is Oprah. She doesn't do anything else. Absolutely, that is true. Why I'm like, Oprah hasn't put any more podcasts out. And I'm like, Raymond's like, she's Oprah. She's doing just
She's
fine.
fine. She's okay.
Raymond
She's
also
allowed to
chiming
retire.
in. Don't forget to watch The Circle on Netflix. Yes, with Mel B, also known as Scary Spice. And Emma Bunton, known as Baby, they're in it. And then Tim said, I guess you literally reap what you sow. It's so true. So make sure you're planting things in your garden and taking care of your garden, meditating, which is also part of your garden. That that's the rain that you're putting in there. You've got to take care of your spiritual garden as well.
Yep. Yes.
Well, Renee, we have done it. Oh, Pomeranian, last bit of wisdom here. Wisdom, when you are on the path of becoming, don't forget the ones who loved you along the way. So true.
So true.
Don't you forget them. Don't forget them.
Couldn't agree more.
Because you know what? The becoming might stop. And so you're going to need those people who, and it's also just the right thing to do.
Be kind on the way up so that when you come down, you got people to catch you. Yes. Let's get out of here, Jam.
All right, we're going to get on out of here, y'all. We'll be back here tomorrow. Big thanks to Sky over there on the YouTubes who popped on in. Hello, Sky. And we've also got, Tim, Pomeranian, Raymond. Y'all have been so great. Stacey, you were here earlier as well. Thank y'all so much. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Pacific time, 8 a.m. Mountain time, 9 a.m. Central time. 10 a.m. I was like, in my mind, I was like, I'm doing so good about naming all the time zones.
Well, yeah, that's what'll get you. Yep.
And then 10 a.m. Eastern time. We're here for 2 hours. And there's some stuff coming up next.
Yes. Up next, we've got Mario Smith. Followed by that is your pal Hal. And we'll be ending the day with Mario Smith. So up next isn't that. Up next is Anthony Davis. And Mario Smith will be at the end. Do it every day. Will not remember it. Will not.
That's why it's in the script.
Absolutely not.
All right. All right, we'll be back tomorrow, y'all. It'll be Thursday, Thirsty Thursday. Come on back. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you all so much for watching Get On Up. I'm James Arthur M.
And I'm Renee. And you just
got on up.
See you tomorrow, guys. And I'm just